Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back, North Country Off-Grid. And shout out to Rick Whitehead, who really enjoyed the goats in the last live stream that we did. He requested more goats. So there you are, guys. We got the goats in the background. Lilah's back there as well. Her and Dutch were just front and center. And now they've disappeared, so you guys have to just watch the goats, who aren't supposed to be in there. They just hop over the fences because goats are a-holes. Can't contain a goat. Let's say what's up to some people in the chat. We're going to say what's up to some people in the chat. We're going to talk prepping. I'm going to tell you guys how my day was. I'm going to ask you guys how your day was. We'll see how that goes. Let's see here. Wookie's in the house. JP Lawn and Moore says, hey, everybody. Ordinary every day in the house. Anthony Gonzalez, Kelly Farrell, North Country Off-Grid. I'm assuming he's in the house. Mr. David's in the house. Mac Doza, Be Charming. Oh, wow, 223 people already. We'll just say hi to every ska in the house. Mark, George, Gas. Everyone's in the house. I'm not going to say hi to everyone. It's too much. Long day for me, guys. I got a new chainsaw today. I went to buy... No, sorry, I got it yesterday. I went to buy a new Husqvarna. I am a still guy. I have a still farm boss. I decided to buy a new chainsaw. I thought it's always a good idea to have two of something, and the chainsaw is like... You can do everything with a chainsaw. I think that's probably my #1 tool, living off-grid. Living on a homestead, farm, whatever. I just use my chainsaw all the time. Have always used my chainsaw. It'll pretty much save your life. It'll take your life, but it'll save your life. So anyways, I decided to buy a secondary chainsaw. I went to buy a Husqvarna, and the guy sold me an Echo. So I was out using it today, cutting a bunch of wood. Not as much power as the Still Farm Boss, but it's a nice saw. Still figuring it out a little bit. Good saw. So I've been out cutting wood all day. Now, everybody tell me what you have been doing today in the chat. Go. Hear these goats sneezing back here. It's from sniffing the grass. Warren from North Idaho. Living the Dream Homestead has been siding, Bible study, work, cabinets, work. You guys mean to tell me you weren't out burning stuff down today or setting the woods on fire? You guys are working? Got a bunch of working men on the channel. Stuck at a hospital, working, trees, sleeping late. All right. Showing my kids how to build something. What are we building here? Showing my kids how to build a lean-to. The goat just entered into a fence pen. Going underneath. Hate field fencing. Good. Showing people how to build stuff, especially your kids. That's fantastic, guys. That ensures that you don't raise children who are, just useless. Yo from Ireland. Fantastic. How's the weather in Ireland? I don't know if you guys can tell, but behind me the sky is very smoky. It actually cleared up last night. In the evening time, we saw some blue skies, woke up this morning, and more of the same, more snow, more smoke from the fires in California and Oregon, mostly. The fires in this area have been getting knocked down and contained really quick, which has been great. Pure living for outdoors says children that are useless. Yeah. You get it. Building a Faraday cage for solar panels. Very cool. Ricky is building a Faraday cage. Something I've got to do pretty soon. I got some extra radios on order. Some electronics. We're going to build a little Faraday cage. I think we'll do that with you guys, kind of show you how we do it. But I got to do it too. But I got to figure out how to do it. I get the concept of it, but I want to make sure I do it right. Smoky Grants Pass, Oregon. Man, so we got a couple of things after we said what's up to everyone, and you guys told me what you did for the day. Couple of things. Oregon fires, guys. Extremely tragic. A lot of the Oregon fires are very devastating. I have a couple of subscribers, you guys, who have lost everything, everything, and I don't know what to say. I don't know how to reply to that. Sorry just doesn't seem to do anything, really. Of course, it doesn't do anything, but it's been weighing on my mind. When the fires started a couple days ago, or a couple days ago, I was informed that one of my subscribers, at least, they lost absolutely everything, and that just weighs heavy on me, because I mean, I don't know what to do about it. It bothers me. I can't imagine losing everything. It's a lot. So, sorry. My thoughts are with you guys. Prayers to the people of Oregon who are dealing with it. It is insane. I like to hear stories of people trying to get out and unable to get out. I couldn't imagine. Super tragic. We're in a weird world, weird time right now, guys, and it's unfortunate, but we are seeing that they are making arrests of people who are actually starting these fires intentionally. That's a scary thought. The devastation. Everyone knows what fire can do, and the fact that people are going out into rural areas and throwing something to start a fire. Those people are trying to kill people. Living the Dream Homestead says arrested and released. Probably, man, it's crazy. Radio Free Redoubt today. John Jacob Schmidt. And he was actually, I was listening to a bunch while I was cutting wood, and in one of his radio shows, you guys go check it out, Radio Free Readout on wherever you listen to podcasts. People that have been getting arrested in the riots and stuff, and there was at one point there was like over half of the people were teachers. They were or some kind of public service. That the guy took the time to actually identify these people and confirm that they were like teachers at elementary schools, high schools, colleges, and then just working in civil service or public service. It's just insane, the people that are causing the chaos in the country right now. Yeah, it gets me all fired up. I give you guys a lot of like what's going on. Tell you, like what I've been learning, and then I tell you guys about it and get the news out there, right? It helps us spread the news, and then everyone is a little more aware of the situation taking place, and then hopefully everyone can make the choices that they need to make and the decisions to prepare for that stuff. John Jacob Schmidt does the same thing, except he gives you guys the facts, right? So it's me just telling you. So if you want the facts and you want the proof and you want the cite your source, you guys can go over and check him out. I figure if CNN doesn't have to do it, I certainly don't have to do it. So I'm not citing any sources. I'm just telling you guys, Onions who are struggling right now. Logo contest, guys. We are doing a logo contest right now. If you're following us on Instagram, we posted it there. Posted it on the community area of a logo. We need a logo. Future looks bleak. And I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm going to try my best until it does come down. So we got logos. We got a logo contest going on that I need, guys. So send me your logos. Win $200. Tell a friend. Buffering too bad. Well, what do you do? We talked about the Oregon fires and the Antifa teachers. So now YouTube's going to shut it down. Okay, so to get into our preparedness, to get into our prepping, our beginning, prepping 101, I want you guys to be able to, I know there's a bunch of you out there who are wondering, where do you start? What do I do to prepare? Rule number 1, grow a beard. Mass exodus, guys. There are so many people right now leaving, specifically coming here, but there are so many people leaving their area to go to a new area. Many are coming here. I'm telling you this because my Tommy 2x4, you're in trouble, man. He messed up. He shaved his beard, guys. You're not gonna live without a beard. My wife is a real estate agent, and as of the last little bit, it has been nonstop. non-stop people calling her, probably minimum 2 to 3 calls slash emails a day of people who got her number, or many of you guys got her number and are like, yo, we want property. And property is insane up here. Property is going for a ton up here, more so than it was a couple of years ago. But there is a mass exodus of people leaving the areas that they live in. Many from Oregon, many from California. I mean, of course, you know, it's just chaos in a lot of those places, but they are leaving. Many are looking to come here. Hopefully it's the right people coming here. I think people are coming here because the right people are here. So hopefully that continues. Many people do look at the readout as the Alamo, specifically Idaho. Idaho is very much kind of on the same page, where you have Eastern Washington and Western Washington split. You have Montana is a little split here and there. For the most part, Idaho is fully conservative, and it's the right people to not give up their rights, and you know, don't tread on me. Let's see. I saw a comment. Real estate in Florida is being sold sight unseen. Yeah, same thing here. People are buying houses for a heck of a price tag without actually stepping foot into the house. Many people are buying land up here sight unseen just to have the land. I think that way, if anything is to pop off, you know, the impending war, they're gonna just come here. They're going to have themselves a place to go. A warning from me, guys. I'm gonna tell you here in a second. Probably gonna forget. Lilah Newton, $20 super chat. Thank you, ma'am. Says, LOL, can I have my wrench back? Didn't realize it was such an honor. LOL. Did you give up your wrench? You don't know. You don't get your wrench back just because you give up your wrench. We could probably get you a wrench. I'm just kidding, Lilah. Oh, coming to northern Idaho. Guys, northern Idaho is its own beast up here. We do have harsh winters at times. We do have weird weather. We get storms that blow through and trees that fall down. Unless you have experience, unless you have a lot of money to be able to maybe pay someone to do it, or to buy all the stuff, including the knowledge, just deciding to leave your area to come to North Idaho, even coming into the winter time, is sketchy at best. You might get here and realize that you can't even get into your property that you bought. Snow maintenance is an issue up here. If you do not stay on top of it, you very much could be snowed in, snowed out. So, yeah, I mean, you know, we're all adults here, so you know, you gotta make your choices. But there are a lot of people coming here. I think you do have to be prepared to live here. It's not necessarily easy to live here in a situation where the grid is down, or you know, civil war throughout the entire U.S. It will not be easy to survive in northern Idaho, especially if the grid is down. We see people complaining when the grid is down longer than a couple of hours. Couple hours, guys. Shelby and I have been living off the grid now for 7 years-ish. It's not a cakewalk. It's not easy, and I don't know everything there is to know about it, and I'm not as great as everything at everything as I would like to be. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of knowledge. You can make a lot of mistakes. You can get yourself in trouble. You can get yourself hurt and killed. So think about that when you're buying land and then planning on just bringing your family up here. I don't know. Red. When'd you change your name, bro? You're living the dream, Homestead, and you know it. Living the dream. Yeah, that's my buddy Jeremy. They've done it, right? And he moved here when it was really cold out. But yeah, you make mistakes. That was what I was saying, is you make mistakes, and hopefully those mistakes, they don't cost you, but you can get caught in a pickle. And if you don't have people around you, you don't have community to help you out, to support you, to maybe bail you out, it makes it much harder as well. And you might find people who are willing to help you out when you just move here, but it's people might not stick their neck out for you if you just move here totally unprepared. You know, that does bother some people. William D is going to stay in the Appalachians. Never been there. So prepping 101, guys. Getting started prepping. So for you people who you know, are buying land here, you're off to a start, right? So first thing you should do is look around you, find out where you are, look to the future of what you think is coming down the line, and figure out if you are smack. So many of you in the cities, Seattle. What was the one in Minneapolis? I should have prepped. I should have prepped before I came on here. Doesn't matter. You guys know all the cities that are burning, all the places. Portland. I would not want to be living in those cities. I would not want to be living in those places right now. Currently, those cities are going to get much worse. The fact that their local government is allowing them to do what they are doing, as we get closer to the elections, it is going to continue to get much worse. Battlefield worse. In the city, in the cities, urban warfare worse. You're going to IEDs. I'm speculating here, guys. You know, it's right out of the Communist Manifesto, but it's their playbook. You're going to see an increase in violence. You're going to see an increase in civil unrest. And I wouldn't want to be there, and you shouldn't be there. You need to leave those areas. You need to leave those places. Let them tear apart those places themselves, and in those cities be in those strongholds and try to battle back against that. I think that's the wrong play. I think you need to get out. And the sooner the better, guys, because like I was telling you, homesteading is not easy. Bolshevik Revolution 2.0. Exactly, guys. This has been done before. This has been done multiple times. They've written a book on how to do this, and all of these communists, revolutionists, they're implementing the playbook. It's not a surprise. For many people, they're not paying attention to it, or they're not fathoming the idea of how bad it really could get here in the U.S., because it's always been very, very cushy. We've always been very safe. We've never seen civil warfare. We've seen other countries battle that civil unrest. We've seen other countries be overthrown, governments be overthrown, changing of governments, change in your politics. You know, what would you do today if all your money's gone, or if all your money is toilet paper? Elijah Lacey did something. What'd you do? Anyway, guys, being prepared starts there. It means getting out of the way in the beginning. Get out of the way. Let them tear themselves apart. Stay out of the fight. Stay out of that fight. I would. I'm sure some of you are like, no, this is our place. We're gonna stay here. You are completely surrounded. Your government is allowing it. They're defunding their police, which is essentially your protection. And I know people are going to argue that. I've argued it, right? You know, police are there as a deterrent to stop crime, right? Ideally. When they're all gone, crime is going to take off. It's going to explode. And all those people who are out there now, who are kind of behaving themselves because law enforcement is there, are going to go buck wild when law enforcement is not there. Frank says, raise your livestock and garden, right? Yeah, and grow gardens. So livestock, garden, guys, right? These animals take time to grow until they are at a edible size. Goats are a fantastic animal to have. My goats, other than being in here eating the cow food, I feed them nothing. They just run around and they eat year round. The feed bill for them is zero. Think about that. I could have as many goats out here as I want, within reason, to sustain meat, food for the family, right? A lot of good content out, Chad. Really appreciate what you do. Guys, I feel I shared with you guys much of our homesteading beforehand. Much of the homesteading I showed you guys as the world started to spin into chaos, I've decided to pull back on showing so much of our place and what we do, and kind of get more into the prepping and the community side of things, because it's all important. But if I'm still here today showing you guys how to hatch eggs or pull a goat, we're way behind, right? You're way behind the curve. And so there's so much to prepping, so much. So let's get back into it. You guys are getting off track, which is cool. Location, guys, get out of the cities. Get the heck out of the cities, right? Number 2 is going to be starting to secure food and water, storing food and water for the family. Lots of food and water. And if you guys are starting today, you are so far behind. So far behind. So get out and do it. Obviously, you're not too late, but you're very much behind, and I'm sugarcoating it some so that I don't hurt feelings, guys. But if you haven't, you guys can add your comments in here as well if you think that I am missing a step or what should go next as far as prepping. Let me know. So basically, we're covering shelter and getting out of Dodge. Food and water, always important, guys. Security, very important. And security is going to kind of tie in with number 5. Security, community. Security, guys. I said guns and it buffered. Just wait a second. All right, we're going to keep going, but I think we're buffering. Security. Guns, ammunition, that's all great, and it's definitely necessary, but don't be one person. Don't be one person out by yourself, guys. You have to have community. Like I said, you got to have people that you can call, maybe bail you out if you got stuck in the snow, and they can come and help you out. If you need help defending your place, having people to help you defend, having the people to do the work. Gardening's not easy. Livestock's not easy. One man doing all of this work takes a long time. It takes a lot out of you. You can try really hard, but you can only get so much done as one person. You need people. You need help. You need to go help a neighbor. Have a neighbor come and help you. And then let's see, Bernard says set up bartering. Same kind of thing, right? Help your neighbors out. Maybe you grow something, they grow something, but work together as a community. It is so important to have that. You could have 2-3 people at your homestead. That could easily be overran by 5-6 people, guys. You're outnumbered. So you maybe think larger scale, bringing in more neighbors, bringing in more friends. Maybe you live in a rural area, but you guys kind of have a block. Get your block of people on the same page, doing the same thing. I used to joke ammo would become currency. Says shadow tracks. Ammo is now worth more than your dollar. It's worth more than your currency. So it is definitely a commodity. Around here, it's pretty hard to find, very scarce. People are paying a lot more than I would like to see being paid for it. Not cool. Somebody asked up here if I know who Owen Benjamin is. I do know who Owen Benjamin is. I've been following was following Owen Benjamin for quite some time, and he's actually moving up into this area. Or has moved up into this area, northern Idaho. So he is one of the many who have left their areas. I believe he's over by the Seattle, Gig Harbor area. It's like all Seattle. It's on the west side. I believe that's 100%. Him and I have a mutual friend, and I talked to him about it a while ago, so I'm not 100% sure on the update. So yes, I do know who Owen Benjamin is. He is now a neighbor up in this area. FEMA bought over 30,000. Does it say guillotines? I'll have to look into that. Sounds scary. I think we might have been buffering because I took a drink of beer. Eric says stack precious metals and prep food and supplies. Yeah, precious metals, guys, they're high right now, right? If you got into precious metals a while ago, then you've more than doubled, or you've about doubled your money. Gold and silver will hold its value. Gold and silver are mentioned throughout the Bible quite a lot. It always has a value because it always has a purpose, whereas our dollar bills, their purpose could become toilet paper, no matter whose face is on them. Shaw's Prospecting says, I have 300 pounds of silver saved. I don't believe you. Show me. Matthew, what's up, dude? Working. Investing in precious metals. Learn the price of silver and equivalents, grams. As the bear says, stack your food to the rafters. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Food is huge. Food is very big. I'll kind of go into it on why it's so important, not just to grow your own food, which is not easy to do, so plan for that. And that's why at minimum you should have at least a year's supply of food, and that is based off the idea of if you have a bad crop yield, which happens, or your a-hole goats eat your garden, you have enough food supplied if you have a bad crop. So starting goal in my mind, I think a year's worth of food per person is your starting goal. Some people might say 3 months, some people might say 6 months. I would say you should look at a year and you should be pushing, right? And then as soon as you get to a year, keep going. If you get to 2 years, I would even keep going. If you could look at, a lot of them, you might go 2, 3, 4 years before you have any kind of infrastructure online, bartering, farming, that kind of thing. Like a new system of commerce, really. So plan for it. Closest neighbor, 30 miles, but 3. That's closest neighbor. It's a good buffer. It's a good buffer. A few miles in between you and neighbors is a good buffer. I pray as going back to food, if you don't have the food, you could be one of the greatest human beings on earth. And if your family's looking at you saying, hey, I'm hungry, how many times are they going to say I'm hungry before you go out and do what you need to do to get them food? And unfortunately, the reality of the situation is good people will do bad things to take care of their own family. So don't put yourself in that situation. Help your guillotines is fake. Seems fake to me. FEMA buying guillotines sounds crazy. But it's 2020. Frank says, how's the air quality? Very smoky out here, man. It's very smoky. Tony says, eat wildlife. Yeah, wildlife hunting, guys, that's a viable option for that with that mindset. And not only that, for those people who don't have any food stocked, you're going to have to go out and kill quite a few more animals than usual. And if everyone's killing quite a few more animals than usual, the animals are going to start to disappear from the woods. They're going to be very far and few in between. They're going to allow hunting this season, asked Blindside. They are allowing hunting this season. I kind of thought that they would pull a little something and not, but the hunting season is open. Chad K says, if it hits the fan, it is legal to use high band ham radios without, or is it legal to use high band ham radios without a license? If it hits the fan, is it legal? Who cares? If it hits the fan and it's total chaos, are you going to not transmit for an emergency purpose? For an emergency purpose, you can transmit anyway. Who's going to come and ticket you? Who's going to tell you anything? And in a situation like that, are you going to be sitting on your radio just talking to people all day long? No, you're going to use it when you need to use it. I would definitely use it. Hopefully I pass my test here coming up in a little bit, but I would definitely use it no matter what. Are they going to come ticket you? I doubt it. So it's good to have ham radios, guys. It's good to have that stuff, even if you don't have your license to use it currently. Having that stuff to be able to put up and then learn to use, having all of that now is important. That's part of preparing, right? I have books full of knowledge I have yet to absorb, but I have it here. Say no to the vaccine, say no to the bus that pulls up to your door. Yeah, no one's doing vaccines. Mandatory vaccines, guys. I mean, that's what's coming down the line. That's a big part of why I tell people to stack food. We've seen that they use the mask to keep you out of stores. They're going to use the vaccines to keep you out of many more places, many more services. They're going to use it as a weapon for compliance, and that compliance makes them billions of dollars. So there are people who are have a lot invested in this. Lilah says, Shelby, how are you and the kiddos? Shelby is not on. I can see her right over here. She's grilling. What are you grilling, baby? Oh, are you? Oh, she is on. She's not texting, though. What are you grilling? Chicken. She's grilling chicken over there. Weaponized vaccines. Guys, the vaccines and even though the numbers are way down on the deaths, so insignificant, they're still going through all of the motions of, we need this vaccine, we're so invested in it now. Why would you take it? There's less deaths than the average flu season that we have. Why would you take it? We're in this fake pandemic for a new virus that isn't as bad as we thought it was, and the numbers have been fudged the entire time, and now we know it. Yet we're still walking down the line pretending like we need it. So why would you be told you need a mandatory vaccine and take it? Elijah Lacey says 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor. 6.5 Creedmoor is my choice. I've actually been looking into this caliber and been trying to get a build together. It is next to impossible to find a 308 lower AR-15. So if any of you guys know of one out there, let me know. Working, I don't oil my beard if I'm going to be out working because it's all oily. Stuff flies in it anyway, and with the oil it's just a mess. So I don't put anything in it when I'm working like I'm cutting. If I'm gonna sweat a bunch, I don't do it. They're going to pay $200 to take the vaccine and $800 when 80% of the population is vaccinated. So Billy Bob's saying that they're giving you an incentive. They're going to pay you to take the vaccine. Guys, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much money that these creeps offer. I'm not taking it. Not taking the vaccine. Just not doing it. Listen, I'll stay off grid and I'll stay out of your way. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. I'm not taking the vaccine. Can't force my kids to do it. My kids are not in your public school. I think you guys are going to see kids being forced to take vaccines, and in turn, I think they're going to force the parents to get the vaccines to get the kids back, right? Extortion, coercion, all of it. Consider 6.5 Grendel, says Sean. I will consider it. It will make you look cyborg, says Teresa. No vaccine for us. Said vacations, but I'm sure you like vacations. Learn to forage and how to disinfect water. Good tip, guys. The romantic notion of foraging, you can forage to add to, but the idea of just strictly foraging, you will burn more calories looking for those calories. So the idea that you will walk into the woods and just forage and live is it's pretty unrealistic. Chad Case says when it gets serious. I don't know what you're talking about. Pork tacos. You guys have to look at our history. The founders of the country were permit that one. Bigfoot does it all the time. Well, you know, he can catch stuff. Watch the show alone. Yes, you need fat. Yeah, guys, a lot of these guys who go on that specific show are, in the beginning, they were like the best of the best survivalists. And they're dropping out left and right. And these are people who spend the time training to do it and have for years. So if you think you're just going to walk out in the woods and learn, you're not. It's not going to happen. My point is, we won't need to haul people off. They'll just squeeze them out like Hitler blockade to UK. Guys, we're headed that way, right? Like we're headed that way. We've seen it before. Don't let it get there. Don't just comply. You have to pick a time to say no. You have to pick a time to draw a line in the sand and stand for something. You can't just chase the dollar and do whatever anyone asks you to do for a dollar. You just can't do it. You can't do it. Can't be done. Blind side says, well, I'm getting all negative. He can be negative, Nancy. Someone's got to play the role, right? Lilah says the government is getting ready to send out more stimulus money. Again, why? Solid question. What did people get, like $1,200? You got $1,200 for being out of work for like 3-4 months or something like that? What good is that? I mean, what good does that do anybody? It's hush money. It's so you'll just sit back and then wait for the next one. And a couple months later, they're going to give you another $1,200. What's $1,200 divided by 4 months? To support rioters, says Mitch Rapp. Got to feed them. I saw that video Trump said military will force it. You know, it is what it is, guys. You know, the way it works is if you go along and comply, you fight back. Well, their plan doesn't work as well. And if we're in the business of, saving lives like vaccines, are we really going to kill a ton of people trying to enforce our vaccine? Are we going to take a bunch of lives in the quest to save a bunch of lives? Probably. Seems like a government plan. Give you guys a second, hang on. I gotta plug you in. I gotta replug you in. I think we're up and running. Maybe not. I need to get a battery on. COVID. Alright, we might have to end it, guys. We might die. Think insurgency style, insurgency type conflict, not a side on side civil war. Yeah, absolutely. That's HasCon. That's HasCon telling you guys the game plan, right? No one's gonna go toe to toe with the United States military, right? But note Afghanistan. No need to force Canada in a store to buy food without vaccines. Yeah, so King Tin says there's your compliance, right? If they can take the food away from you, you are going to take their vaccine because you are hungry, right? Or if they dangle some food, a ration card in front of you. And what we've seen actually is that somehow the state, the government, has gotten corporations to actually enforce their mandates. So the state can't enforce it as a law because it's not. It is a mandate, it is a suggestion, yet they got the corporations to do it. So that's a big factor for you guys. You know, places like Costco that told you no, Walmart that told you no, all of those places that told you can't come in unless you wear a mask, they're going to tell you can't come in unless you prove that you have the vaccine. They're going to cut you off at the knees, and it's because they got too big and too powerful, and instead of needing to earn your business, my guess is they're getting paid somewhere else to be able to do it. So, will you comply? Do you comply? Are you prepared to not comply? And if you're not prepared to not comply, get prepared to not comply, guys. And that means every angle of your life. William D says, LOL, this is pure stupid. Put a 1 in the comments if you watch CNN. Let's see here, guys. If you got a question about prepping, I know we're getting off of it, put it in the comments. The vax issue is a catch-22. They can't force me to take it, but they will try to persuade all of us. They don't control me by anything they have. They can bribe and cajole, but they can't. They have already lost. I know. No, they might have lost with you. They're going to get the majority of people to take the vaccine because the majority of people are sheep, guys. The amount of people resisting or the amount of people who say no is going to be very, very few. The truth is many people, no matter how emboldened you are, or how much you're like, oh, I'm not going to do it. When your belly starts hurting, you're going to do it. There's not that many people who have that conviction to, that have that conviction to be able to go through a couple of sore stomachs, belly aches, and say, I don't care. I'm not doing it no matter what. If this kills me, it kills me. I am not taking it. There's not a ton of those kinds of people in the world. And that's why community is so important. If you can have those people in your groups, in your community that can help to motivate people and help to lead people, then the people who aren't so sure they can do it, you know, you come together and it forms a nice group of people. Bug Out Bubba in the house says, I have yet to wear a mask. I get my food from the garden and have gasoline and diesel delivered. Nice. There's a little bit of advice for you guys. Get your fuel delivered to you. Up here, I have not had to wear a mask. I have been kicked out of stores for not wearing a mask. It's not a huge deal. It's not a huge part of day-to-day life up in this area. There are places that are cutting people out. Local government is keeping people out of courthouses for not wearing them to their court dates. We've been seeing multiple people be denied their due process of being allowed to go into court because the courts are playing the game. So it's going to get interesting. Everything in the future gets interesting, guys. All of these law enforcement officers, all of these judges who are enforcing this mandate, forcing you to essentially become, in this case, you know, they're forcing you to become a wanted person, a wanted fugitive, if you will. Mrs. North Country Off Grid says, Bimart and Rathdrum kicked us out and we haven't been back since, and we won't be going back there ever, and they messed up because I would go in there once a week looking for ammo. So Bimart and Rathdrum, you suck. I don't know what I was talking about. It doesn't matter. Know any resources in Kentucky as far as groups to hook up with? I'm on my own here. Groups are, guys, number one, right? Like, go look at your militias. If you have a state-regulated militia, those are good groups to get into. If you are in the state of Idaho, you should be looking at the real 3%ers of Idaho first. But there are good militias as well in this area. But you should, at this point, be joining 100%. You will find your community there. You will find your security there. You will find a part for you to play, which is important. If you are sitting back doing nothing, coming up with reasons and excuses that you are not doing anything to show and put up a little bit of resistance of what's going on, you'd better do it. You had better do it, guys, because the last thing you want to do is wait till the whole thing pops off and then you say, hey, I want to help. I would rather have all those skills and all that knowledge and all that stuff leading up to any civil unrest that might be coming down the line, because it might not be just our country. It might not be just, oh, Portland's going nuts, or oh, California has decided they're totally loco. we could see outside entities coming in. If America is tearing itself apart, you can guarantee that the Chinese are watching and waiting. And if they have the opportunity to come in, they are going to do it because they already want to do it. That is not a conspiracy theory, guys. It is a plan that a general has written up. It is a plan on a back burner. They are watching. They do want America. They want to be able to colonize America. That's not a, hey, this is a conspiracy theory. The Chinese want America, and they will take their opportunity. So keep that in mind, guys, when you're looking at food, vaccines, compliance, civil unrest, power outages. You might be looking at civil warfare. You might be looking at civil unrest, and you might be looking at an absolute world war when people come onto our soil, which usually never happens. Honestly, I have been getting static from my HOA for branches and vegetables. You mentioned go agricultural, have a good community where we find good people. Oh, I want to GFTO of Gwinnett, North, ATL, Midwest, Mid-North. Midwest. A lot of people going to the Ozarks. Lots of people. I don't think Viking preparedness is still in here. Many people flocking around him. Viking preparedness, you guys, if you have not seen his channel, go check out his channel, Viking preparedness. He has been doing this for a while now. And then the way he does it, guys, is with large community, but he's been building it for years, guys. He has been preaching it to people. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. You know, and a lot of people, I remember watching him and people would just give him shit saying, oh, you've been saying this for years, you've been saying this for years, you've been saying this for years, right? Well, who's laughing now, guys, like we are? It is knocking at the door. And he's been preaching it for years, and many people have felt called to go and join him. Many people have uprooted their lives, and they have gone and joined him in that area. I think you're talking hundreds of people up in his area, community, network. A lot of people. So if that's something you're looking for, it is out there. It is in certain communities. If you are in an area like with HOAs, man, sell that place and leave. If you've got HOAs, you've got a false government on top of a tyrannical government. Get out of there. Get out. HOA is a tool of UN Agenda 21. I didn't think it was the case until the board turned into petty bureaucrats. That's what happens anytime people get power. The wrong types of people want power. And when they get power, they then want to be in control, and then they just start, then they're just in the wheel of control. Think about it. Even the people now who are in these places of power, while we just see this escalation taking place, if I were one of these people in power and all this escalation was going on in the country, I would look to about here, and I would wonder if at this place right here, do I get hunted? Do all of the enemies and the people who have pissed me off, do they exact their revenge right here? Get off me, goat. They're in the wheel and they just continue to do it, right? So they're, stop, get out of here. This goat's horning my knee. They just keep going through the motions, right? A tyrannical government, they continue to violate your civil rights. They continue to want to be in your business, want to take from you, want to extort from you. And I think many of them are just too dumb to get out of the way. They're too dumb to see what's coming down the line. And so they're just making enemies until that day of revolution comes. You can see the people who are out hunting the people. You know the people who are going to start hunting. And yet you're here just waiting or thinking that it's not going to happen. And if that day comes, I think you're going to see a lot of I think you're going to see a lot of law enforcement. I think you're going to see a lot of government. I think you're going to see those people being targeted, because if you are in a revolution, that is your target. Those are the people you need to get rid of. If you're trying to change our government, if you're trying to, instill a communist government, those are the people who are going to be targeted. Al Bundy says, I've never regretted subscribing. Right on, man. Appreciate it. I think I heard some people's feelings the other day talking about this, talking about how law enforcement is going to be hunted in the future, because people were unsubscribing just because I was trying to inform people of a scenario that I believe is going to be taking place based off of what you've seen in other countries, based off of the level and based off the escalation that we've been seeing, right? You're moving the chess pieces. You got to get those chess pieces to a position, and that is a play. That is a position. So I heard some people's feelings talking about it. Prepper Now says it's a legit scenario. It's about the only scenario, really. I mean, unless you see these people who are burning down buildings, breaking windows, you see them now threatening government officials. You see them threatening law enforcement. You see them shooting law enforcement. If we're already doing that, the moment they become emboldened enough to win their revolution, you're going to see these people killed. If you're in office, if you have any kind of a political office, you should really be thinking about the fact that you may and probably will become a target in the very near future. On both sides, these people who are doing this, guys, they don't care if it's right or left. They don't care. They are after an entirely different type of government. They are after straight up communist government, not a little bit socialist, not democratic socialist. They are looking for a communist government. That means taking everybody out. They might play nice with the left for a little while, but at some point, they're going to eat their own hand, or the left's going to try and eat them. And whoever these guys are on the streets that are shooting people, burning stuff down, those are the people who are after revolution 100%. Fairly new subscriber so far, digging the channel, says stay survived. Appreciate it. This is pretty much what we do, man. We live on a homestead. We live off grid. We raise animals. We try to share that with everybody. We're very active in our community. We try to show people that as well. We try to influence people to be involved in that. And of course, we like to play with guns and all the other fun stuff that comes along with that. People go to the ATM, take cash out now. Solid advice. Get your cash out of banks, guys. Get your money out of banks. Let me tell you, extortion everywhere in the house. What's up, buddy? Ask QA about it. He has seen it. I have something I would like you to see. Ask QA. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'll ask him. We've seen it, guys. Venezuela is, I think, the most recent the most recent example of that. You had a government stealing money, inflating the money, and it all crashed. And if you had $1 million cash in the bank, it was useless. Useless, just like that, useless. People, you couldn't buy anything with a stack of cash. It was toilet paper. Not even toilet paper in 2020. We're talking just toilet paper. All you could do with it is use it on the backside. Your money is useless if your government crashes the economy. Our economy is crashing. The dollar is devalued. It has been devalued for years. Now we're watching these guys try to come up with some sort of a cryptocurrency, electronic banking. They're getting ready to jump, I think, your currency. I think they're going to say, okay, the dollar's dead, but we've got this, so come on board. Guys, that's like having someone who built your house and it falls over, walk back in and say, we got an idea. We're going to put it back up a different way, and you're going to hire me. In what world would you ever do that? This government, deep state, whoever, somebody is crashing our economy with all of this stuff. All of it. the civil unrest, the political upheaval, your dollar's going to crap. Pull your money out. Go invest it in precious metals. I don't know. Don't. Just my idea. Just a thought. Electronic currency is coming soon. And that's another part of, it's another part of it. What do we do that? Asked Tina. Tina, what I would do is resources, right? What I like to do with my money is I like to spend it on things that are of value to me. Like, I can eat that dude and keep my family alive. That dude makes other little dudes and dudettes. To me, that is a currency, right? I can trade that little dudes and dudettes to somebody else for something they have. Self-reliance, guys, using your money to sustain yourself, setting up a lifestyle where you can take care of yourself, take care of your family, and not rely on having to go to work every day to pay a bunch of bills, to pay for debts, to pay the man, right? It's an entire lifestyle, and I know it's not easy, guys. Self-reliance is a lifestyle. Should I buy a house? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to buy a house? Should you buy a house? It's up to you. If you're looking at everything that's taken place, everything that I've just talked to you about, what the near future holds, I wouldn't. I would buy land. I would buy a house on land. I would buy a farm. I would buy a potential homestead. I would not get into a mortgage. And it's a weird scenario, guys. If we lose our country, if we lose everything, we lose our economy, we lose all of it, do you pay that mortgage? And if you pay that mortgage, who do you pay that mortgage to? And if you are still paying a mortgage and we see 10 years of war or whatever takes place, who has the right to then come back and say, hey, that is actually our house and you're going to pay us mortgage? Likely scenario, what seems to be the most likely of scenarios with America is the states will probably balkanize. You will see states either band together or states say, hey, we are our own country, we are our own nation now, we're not subscribing to your crazy anymore. We're now the country of Idaho, right? And maybe Western Montana says, yo, we want in on that too. Monaho, the state of Monaho, the country of Monaho. Balkanization, guys, it's happened before. It's kind of where we're headed. 61 minutes, guys. We got to get out of here. I can't hang out with you guys anymore. We like to keep it at an hour at most because otherwise people just seem to be getting bored. 512 people in the house, 448 thumbs up, guys. Hit the thumbs up for me, if you will, on the way out the door. I appreciate you guys. If you're getting in here late, please go check out the beginning of this video. We have a logo contest that I really need help with, guys. I've got some stuff. My brain is working. I've got some products and some stuff. Hotana, that's a good one. I've got stuff. I need a logo, and I need you guys' help because I'm just a stick figure type of guy. I can't draw something for nothing. So I need your guys' help. Winner gets $200 if we pick your logo. So please help us out, guys. Thank you so much. We will catch you on the next one if we're all still here.